Hey, Barry, where were you? Your mother was so worried she tried to adopt me. Anyways, take a look at your mini-map. Looks like there are new job opportunities for you. You should check them out.
Hey, friend, just got a new opening. Take a look.
And we've got a brand new game in the arcade, courtesy of Onyx.
Hey everyone, welcome back to B-Movie Game. We're gonna do just a little short bit of jobbing, and then we're gonna go back into the story. I'm cutting out the vast majority of the job trial stuff at this point, just because, like I've said before, if you've seen these things once, you've pretty much seen all of them. Maybe later on when I do, like, the crazy ones, I don't know. You don't have to do all of them to beat the game. Well, I mean, to get 100% completion, I think you do, but I don't know if I'm going to do all that. But, yeah, I'm just going to show, like, one max each time that I have to do this. Unless, you know, something interesting happens, but not really the case this time around. Just, taking little stacks of, hexagonal pizzas. I guess that's what they're called. They're just called meals, but they're flat and look like pizza boxes. And, oh noes, we have an emergency call at J-Gate. So it's time to, mash the R2 button for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes of a loading screen. Anyway, hello. I was originally going to put this up on Saturday. I did not do that. I don't really remember why. I don't know what I was doing on Saturday. And then I didn't feel like it yesterday. I was also doing things. But today, I have the day off of work because it is Columbus Day, or if you're in a cool place like I am, it's Indigenous Peoples Day, which is a much more deserving holiday. Because even if he didn't do all the rape and genocide, Christopher Columbus ain't shit. He did not discover America. Motherfucker thought he was in India for most of the time. We've been over this. Well, we haven't, but this is, you know, elementary shit. If you actually like or care about Columbus or like Columbus Day for any reason other than you get off work and school, if you do, a bunch of people don't get off work, like fucking Walter's at work today, Liv is at work. Well, I mean, she works here from home, but you get it. She's working. But not me, baby. Hell yeah. But yeah, if you like give a shit about Christopher Columbus or like him actively, you're like kind of a loser, IMO. Sorry. I was talking in a stream that I did the other night about a guy I worked with who was really upset when they took the Columbus statue down in Philly. And I don't think he was there, but he was saying that he knew people who were, there were a bunch of, like, South Philly Italians that were protesting when they were doing that, when they were taking the statue down. And I just find that very funny. Also, I'm pretty sure Josh mentioned in the stream that I'm pretty sure that's the plot of a Sopranos episode about... Well, I know there's a Columbus Day episode, but I forget if it's... I don't know if it's about a Columbus statue being taken down and Tony being angry about it, but I could see that. Anyway, gonna do just one last job trial before we head back into the thick of things. We have a kind of uneventful and completely like filler level to do. Filler as far as the story of the movie goes, because yeah, at this point in the movie, it's just like 25 minutes of like courtroom scenes, and we did all this shit with pollinating flowers and flying around and taking pictures and stuff, so we're gonna do that. Can't just have... It would be cool if just the middle third of this game just turned into a Phoenix Wright game, where you have to, outsmart Montgomery just with your wit, It just suddenly becomes a very different game.
Yahoo! Every little bit helps.
Also, for some reason, I just remembered, I think the first time I played this game when I was a kid, I think for some reason I thought that there would be jobs outside of the hive as well, or that there would be more of the hive. Because, you go into Hunex and whatever, and I was like, I bet there's more that you unlock stuff. And that would be kind of cool if you did, but I guess it is just a hive. Don't know how big it would really get to be. It is funny how there's only like 5 jobs in Hunex and like 5 in the town. But what are you gonna do? But anyway, so yeah, happy day off if you have one. Otherwise, it's just another Monday. But either way, I'm here. It's noon. I'm chillin'. I'm about to see Venom 2 in about an hour. Excited about that. So, yeah. Alright, let's see what Jeanette Chung's got for us.
Tonight, he'll reveal the inside scoop behind the honey crisis. All the action, the intrigue, the lawless abandon. Tonight, I bring you the inside story behind the inside story. Right here, right now. I'm Jeanette Chung. And we're back. Barry,
What was that?
What?
All that conspiracy stuff? Kind of over the top, isn't it? I mean, Lawless Abandon?
It's about ratings, Barry.
But I didn't even mention that stuff until tonight. Where'd you get the footage?
It's the magic of television. Anyway, back to your story. Barry, for the average lay bee, explain what legal issues were at play here.
Well, the thing with humans is they have a lot, and I mean a lot, of laws. Bees only have 6 laws. 7 if you count no honey on Saturdays.
Most bees don't. Only orthodox bees.
Right. So there's a lot of legal red tape to get through.
You mean that tape that humans hang from ceilings to catch bees and kill them?
I mean metaphoric red tape, although that other stuff is diabolical.
So, what happened next?
Well, while the trial started to heat up, things really began to cook with my investigation.
Conspiracy! Yes. Please go on.
Oh, boy. All right, so this is where humans keep their food. We're here to collect evidence.
Why so many boxes? How many different kinds of food can they have? What the heck are cookies? There are 1,000 different flavors.
For humans, variety is the spice of life.
I thought honey was the spice of life.
For bees it is. If you're human, it's variety and something called paprika. Let's split up. You go this way, I'll go that way.
Barry asked a very important question in that cutscene, which is, how did Jeanette get all this footage? And just in general, the whole news framing device is a little strange, because, like, you started out, you start out and it's like, here's the news, here's the story, like, he's telling the story in the past. And it starts with, him trying to get a job and you doing the job trials, and so that starts your hive existence. But then the rest of the game, he's like sitting down at the TV and watching the news program. I don't know. It's weird temporal stuff going on, just further complicating this already strange source material. It seems that Montgomery's gotten his teeth fixed, so that's nice. And here we are going to be hunted down by secret agents. And guess who it is? It's all that same fucking guy.
Remember, move quietly. Stay in the shadows. The element of surprise is our greatest weapon. All we have to do is...
Hey, B, you're in big trouble now. My boss just sent the leanest and meanest to mess you up.
I better think of something. No way am I going to let them stop me from finding that evidence.
So this is just kind of a lot of, like, flying around, avoiding the guys, getting the things. It's very easy, at least for me, to get lost here, because it's just a bunch of boxes. And if you get in their way, they, you know, just you hit the buttons and get away from them. It's fine. But I'm going to do that about 50 times during this, because, yeah, it's very easy to. And yeah, this throws me the fuck off. But yeah, they just kind of walk around with this green spray, and that's it. And yeah, it's all that same dude. Someone really should go through this LP and count how many times they've used that dude's model. They really did just use him for, like, every male character, like, background guy. It's pretty funny. Well, let's see. Because, like, I'm certainly not going to go through the LP, but just off the top of my head, you have him as Ken's friend at the beginning. There's at least 2 in that cutscene in the flying sequence that we last did. There's all 3 of these guys. He probably showed up at least once in the first flying sequence. He's the waiter. He's the confidant. He's a guy in the office. Unless that's supposed to be the same guy. Well, I mean, all of these aren't supposed to be the same guy, I know that. Some of them have very different voices, but whatever, man. Anyway, the whole I gotta think of something that Barry says at the beginning of here threw me off when I was playing this, because we are now past the point that I got to on my practice file before I started this. So, I mean, I've beaten this game a couple times before, so I didn't not recognize this part, but it was a little less fresh in my memory what you had to do. And Barry saying I need to think of something made me think that I'm supposed to be, like, looking for something to, like, fuck with the guys, like if there's some kind of thing I'm supposed to lock onto or whatever. So I was kind of like, if you see me, like, flying around indiscriminately and, like, missing opportunities to get the evidence, it's because I thought it was more than that, but it literally is just take the pictures and then you're done. It literally doesn't matter if you run into them. And 2 wax statues. I don't know if there are more than one in other levels, but probably, which means I've missed a bunch. But I'm not gonna go fucking look for those. Who gives a shit about that? I like the sink. And also, I like, in that, at the beginning of that other cutscene, the, comment he made about how, for humans, variety is the spice of life and everything. This point in DreamWorks, and I'm happy that it was when I was a kid, I really dug it when I was growing up, and I still think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's, like, a little lame in some spots. Well, let me say what I'm fucking talking about first. There seemed to be a lot of, like, movies from DreamWorks around this time that had to do with, like, animals, sort of viewing, like, early 21st century American consumerism through, like, an animal lens. Mostly with Madagascar, Over the Hedge, and this, where it was, that's, like, the best way I can put it, because with Madagascar, I guess most of the time they were on the island and they were kind of ingratiated into, like, the consumer culture of New York and whatnot. But then Over the Hedge, you have this whole thing about how, like, we eat to live, but humans live to eat, and just talking about, like, the massive just numbers of artificial food that they've made because the things we get from the woods is not enough. And then this one is all about, like, how much fucking food do you guys need, when he's, like, in the aisle and there's, like, a whole aisle of cereal and there's, like, 900 different products that they use honey for. And B-Movie is the one that approaches it in the most interesting way. And Over the Hedge is probably the one. I guess it's just those 2. I don't know. And then you also had, with those, as well as non-DreamWorks things, like Ratatouille, as I've talked about before, and, like, Flushed Away, which is also DreamWorks. and to an extent, Wallace and Gromit. Just the, like, resourcefulness of, like, the use of everyday human objects for other things. I know I've talked about this already, but yeah, not so much in B-Movie because you're really small, but you know what I mean. I mean, I guess a good example of that in B-Movie would be when Adam loses his stinger and he uses a little, like, toothpick from a sandwich as his new stinger on his butt. Anyway, yeah, I've sped this part up because it's taking fucking forever. Because this is when I realized, like, oh, there really is, like, nothing else to this except getting the evidence, but now I have to wait for these bitches to walk around at 0 miles an hour to get away from me. And yeah, the whole time, every 10 seconds, you have to hear them go, like, go in stealth mode. And they're just, like, walking around and missing. Again, like, it's so fucking easy to kill a bee. Like, these guys don't know how to, like, smash me against something. They must not be good at QuickTime events. I like to think that the humans have their own set of button prompts that they need to hit, and they're just missing them.
Hey, Bee, say hello to your little friend.
Barry, help!
Adam, I'm coming!
Okay, that's enough. Let's see just how much your friend likes you.
Okay, so now we're going to do something. Oh yeah, we're gonna turn on this shit, but first I have to do this. Also, just realized, or just remembered, on top of people getting mad about the taking down of the Columbus statue, also the Frank Rizzo statue, who was the police commissioner of Philly for a while, and also, yeah, I think he was the mayor as well. Another terrible guy that people who are wrong like and think need to be revered. Yeah, really bad dude.
Adam, are you all right?
I'm good. But I've got to tell you...
Slow down. Breathe. Okay, stay put until I can find us a way out of here.
Barry, I found it. I was using the scanner and I found it.
What?
You know how all roads lead to the hive? Well, there's something funny about these honey shipments. They're not coming in, they're going out. All to one place. And I found it.
Hey, Bee, I think maybe I smell you. I think you need a shower.
That face.
You can learn a whole lot from those nature shows on TV. For example, I just learned that bees cannot fly when they're wet.
Stay here. I've got a score to settle.
Do people... I feel like I would just assume that bees can't fly in the rain. And yeah, here's where I forgot what was happening and just immediately rushed out into the rain. And now I'm gonna get frickin' murdered. Well, not right now, but in a minute. But yeah, now we're just flying into the blue, the pale blue halo. And I thought that I could get up there, but that honey, the bee vision, or bee reflexes, whatever, the slowdown timinator, doesn't go for very long. So the rest of this isn't very interesting. We're gonna do a couple more job trials after this. That's all that we got really going on, and then just to get us up to that point so that we can start with the actual next chapter in the next video. Keep things moving. So I wanted to talk about something that I think I've mentioned in a stream or something. I know I've talked about it with people in just my circle. my social circle, meaning the internet people that are in my videos. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something that's been in the news a lot lately, which is the Havana syndrome, and how I think that it's the stupidest and funniest thing ever. If you don't know what this is, it started out with Cuba, hence the title, and I remember the first time I heard about it was at the end of the Obama administration. It was in like 2015. And there were like CIA agents and like diplomats who were reporting like a variety of symptoms of like nausea or like decreased their brain getting fucked up. They had bad vibes, whatever. And they thought that they insisted that it was because of like a direct energy attack by Cubans in Cuba. And it was like this big mystery or whatever. Except there was one time where, I think this might have been, this was kind of like the same thing around the same time, is that diplomats and agents in Cuba were reporting these like high-pitched noises nearby that were like giving them headaches and like making their ears hurt or whatever, and they thought that it was like a sonic energy attack. And a couple years went by and they did an investigation, and it turned out that it was fucking crickets. So that's just to give you a little bit of background of where this is kind of coming from. Also, background to remember is that the people claiming this are like CIA and other US intelligence agents who are, let's say, they're not known for lying all the time. Just say that in the dumbest way possible. Also, this is the mechanic job. I don't know, I think I already showed one of these, but this one's a really long one. The mechanic job is really fucking boring. What was it? But in the last year or so, the reports of these kinds of like vague symptoms have gone up, and it's become like a much bigger, like people are making a bigger stink about it in the media now, and I'm not really sure why. But now it's in a bunch of places, not just Cuba. It's been like Venezuela, Vietnam, China. I think India. There was a couple of people in DC and like suburbs of Virginia somehow. And like the opinion of the government is that, one, it's probably a direct energy attack developed by Cuba or China or Russia or one of the other villains of our time. And two, that there's like no scientific basis for such a weapon existing. At which point, like, if you're right, then like give up. If they collaborated with absolutely no one knowing about it on this weapon that like we have absolutely no scientific explanation of how it would even exist and work and not be detected at all, including in DC, which is probably like maybe the single most monitored area in the whole country, like the area around the White House. And these were like White House aides saying that they're like, oh, and it's always just like, you know, migraine symptoms and like diarrhea, and again, like bad vibes. Like some people were like, I feel nauseous and depressed and anxious, and it's like, maybe it's because you work for the CIA and you feel bad. That's just very funny. They passed a fucking bill in Congress unanimously while they're debating over whether to give us scraps to give extra medical coverage for people who have the Havana syndrome. So, very funny, very stupid. Just wanted to share it with you. More B-Movie Game next time. See you then.